to Wild Honesty, coming to you from the caravan. Unfiltered today and getting it in where I can, which pretty well fits the title. So this space was created a long time ago in my mind, and then I've been scared to do it the whole time. So some of you might have remembered my previous podcast, A Road Less Doubtful, that went for about a year and a bit. It did really well. But life got really busy, and somewhere along the lines I also no longer resonated with what I was creating there and lost the vision of why. Today's episode is the first episode of Wild Honesty, and honestly, no pun intended, I was supposed to film this yesterday and was so down and out that I could have cancelled the whole idea altogether. But this is the whole point. I also had the caravan set up beautifully for another event that's prompted all of this, which is a whole nother story. And I wanted to film it in that space. I was dressed. Today I've done my tattooing and been working, and I'm jumping in here before I do school run because done is better than polished, and the whole point of this podcast is the messy middle, is those parts between self-doubt, which was A Road Less Doubtful, and self-trust. And everything that I've been working through, everything I'm building towards, everything that I find to be true, is that voice and that honest version of you in the middle where you question yourself. It's not easy to shift identity, and even that word sounds a little pompous as it comes out of my mouth, but when you've done the same thing for a long time, there's these versions of you that people see and perceive, and you hold them so strong about your core beliefs that shattering those takes a lot. And through the conversations I have in here tattooing, I've witnessed so much of this, so much heartache around it, so much hurt around it, and felt it in myself that I want more of these conversations, to be heard by the masses, because the same concept that was there for A Road Less Doubtful, the more people say the thing that they think makes them unworthy is the thing that allows that vulnerability, allows that honesty, and it allows others to go, okay, I can do this too. The word doubt says, what if I can't do this? And yes, I had my doubt schmout stickers, so have doubt, do it anyway. That's fine. But doubt wants proof. Self-trust is what happens after you have done something without the proof. It is building that. So the stuff that I'm really passionate about is following your own GPS, being your own GPS, trusting. I'm going to say that gut instinct, but it's deeper than that. It's an inner knowing that we have to return to. Around all the noise and what we are perceived to be. And by doing that without the proof, so doubt is asking you all of those questions, like, what if they see me fail? What if I can't do this? What if they know I'm a fraud? What if I don't look good enough? What if I don't fit in there? They are the doubt questions. They're the things that could stop us. Wild honesty is that part in the middle. It's that messy part that says, fuck, I don't like those feelings, but I can no longer be the version of me that doesn't try this. It's getting louder, it hurts more, the emotions are getting stronger, which again, just so ironic of where I was yesterday to where I am today. Having those conversations with others, but more importantly with yourself, like being honest, because it's really easy. Your ego wants to keep you safe, and you can tell that narrative all you want. We can always sell ourselves on a story that keeps us safe, and it's often easier. But in the long run, the same way exercise is harder to start with, but your life becomes easier, being really honest with yourself has the same thing. I'm very much learning that in real time. And then the self-trust is what you get after it. Sometimes we need to use the grit to get through, but we build that evidence. Then we have something that shows us we can keep moving forward after that. And that's what's important. To me, 42, 3 kids, lots has changed. The same fundamental fears that I had when I started A Road Less Doubtful that I've always carried within me is, financial security, people pleasing, wanting to be liked and not letting others down. But within that, I consistently let myself down, and that selfishness piece is still alive. So I want to be more honest with myself while I do this. There's been some amazing moments come up lately where I've really had to pull back in to my own GPS and also my human design. And there will be parts of that still very much woven into this podcast. But the vision for this podcast is a safe space for people to come into, to say the thing that they've been holding on to, that maybe no one else has heard before. They don't need the recognition for the thing they're saying. They may even want to stay anonymous, but it's a safe place for it to land. They understand that doing that helps other people. And it's not the experts, that is still the same core messaging as A Road Less Doubtful was. It's understanding, while in real time I'm understanding and trusting my voice, while it shows up shakily today going, who knows, this may be the only episode that gets filmed of A Wild Honesty, or that future version of me that can't unsee what I've seen may come to life, but I'll never know if I don't take the first step. It's those conversations where you witness parts of yourself in somebody else that helps you gain more clarity, come alive a bit more, feel more seen and witnessed in that space, and grow and dream bigger. And to me, that's super important. So just back to this space. My vision has always been, or I guess what's shifting for me is it hasn't mattered what space I've chosen to show up in, what I've chosen to try out over the last 20 plus years being in the beauty industry, having tattooing conversations. It's never been, even stepping into the newer stuff with 4-wheel driving, my paragliding, doing my human design sessions and my energy work. At the end of the day, it's not the skill, it's the safe spaces that are created and the conversations that come from those. And it's taken me a really long time to see that I don't have that skill on paper, but it's something that I allow to happen in other people that I thought was just a thing that people did. Now, does that mean everyone has the same view of me? No. And this is where that mind starts to kick in. Like, if you say that, someone who doesn't believe that, they're going to judge you, and then they'll say that, and then it's not true, right? You've got to really catch yourself on those thoughts. They happen all the time on autopilot. If you haven't heard of him, check out Bruce Lipton. The way he talks about epigenetics is insanely amazing. And then to me, that ties back in with human design. As we came in here, and I don't really care how woo-woo you are, but we came in here with an energetic blueprint. We came in a certain way to show up a certain way in life. And so much of what happens around us gets conditioned, and we think we need to do all of those other shoulds, chores, whatever they are, and it's actually not true. And the whole beautiful experience that I can say today, whereas yesterday I literally was laying on my bathroom floor saying, I give up. Why am I doing this? I'm not being a good mum. I'm too overwhelmed. I don't know how to have a long distance relationship. You're not making it happen, so you don't love me enough. I can't solve it, so I'm not good enough. I'm simplifying those things, but the amount of extra mental noise that went on yesterday, and I swear to God, I was coming through some kind of version of a transit, and you start seeing these patterns, and instead of going back into, oh, I can't do this, and all those self-doubt questions, they're there. But something, this messy middle part, the honesty with yourself, like, what if I keep going? If I choose not to show up and do this podcast, there is not a chance in hell I know if this works, right? There's just none. And therefore I stay exactly where I'm at, and I'm not content there. And that is something that I've probably listened to a lot of people's voice on as well, that, oh, you're always chasing something. And I've made that mean a negative thing, but for me, the most beautiful thing about being human, which is what I was saying about coming into this world a certain way, is to unpack the parts of yourself that you haven't wanted to look at, to start peeling back those layers and see what's underneath that. And that never comes from sitting surface level, from not trying, from not failing, from not crying and feeling the lows to feeling the highs. If I wasn't vulnerable, I wouldn't have the version of a relationship I have. Some days I think, well, maybe I should have never done that, because then I could concentrate on myself and I wouldn't let anyone down. And then we pivot back into, but I want support, right? So these are the ebbs and flows that we can feel in our lives all the time. And we can either stay there and we never shift through it and we keep repeating that pattern, that cycle, or we get to grow. And instead of worrying, which I do enormously, I'm going to look silly, I'm going to fail, I'm going to look flaky for trying something new, I like that I know what it's like on the other side. And I remember that first moment outside my marriage, because it was a core part of that. Actually, sorry, while I was still in it, wondering, that feeling, that inner knowing, that tug, that, okay, it didn't necessarily mean my marriage was ending at that point, but there was something that said this isn't right, it's not okay, and it's not what you want. Now, there's so many different ways to skin that cat to get a different result, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of noise to say, don't change it, because there's a lot of other people relying on you, you don't want to make them sad, etc. And if you have been in this situation or you're on the other side of it, you understand this. If you're in the middle of it, hopefully you hear this and it helps. And this can be applied to anything. But if I never did it, and I only had this conversation yesterday as well, there is a moment here and there where I go, if I had just stayed, if I had just done blah, 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 maybe it would be easier for my children. Maybe this, maybe that. But one, it's hindsight. Two, I don't want that version of me back ever. That version of me would not have been able to cry on the floor yesterday and show up and do a podcast today. And I'm really proud of her, and that caught me by surprise. I am proud of her. Some days I'm not. Some days I'm really mean to her. Some days I think I can't do a thing right. Insert perimenopausal hormones, which don't help you make a goddamn decision anyway, and are also the most beautiful thing, because they actually start ripping apart that fucking mask that you've been wearing for so long and showing you what's been hiding underneath it that you can no longer tolerate. So if you're in that space too, embrace it more, that you're allowed to be all of that mess, and you should be all of that mess. Like, there's some great stuff cracking open there. I had one session with a lady who helped me actually originally start rebuilding this brand. Her name was Lelia, and she did anyway, it was more like a spiritual session with me, and that was really beautiful. But in one of the sessions, she's like, Emily, you are like your soul is under layers and layers of dirt, but now there's like these cracks in the dirt and some of the light is getting in. And to me, that's what it feels like going through perimenopause, or going from self-doubt, being completely honest with yourself, and transitioning into some more self-trust. Every moment that happens, when you think you can't do it and you do it, it's like that feeling is like a drug, but you have to do it before there's proof. And each time you're still going to feel it, because you're going to a deeper layer. You're going to something new that you get to learn about yourself. And that's what makes you feel alive. Not Groundhog Day, not doing the same thing and hoping for a different result. So I guess in a nutshell, that's where this has all come from. So this is just my short little introduction to A Wild Honesty. And as we go along, it will evolve. But I'm hoping to encompass more of me, the person, into everything I do, instead of thinking about the skills I need to have all of the time. And trusting more of me as me is enough, and hoping to reflect that back to whoever listens. So whether it becomes more four-wheel driving retreats and talking to you guys more on here, or a little bit more traveling in the caravan and having conversations with different people, unfiltered, and so they feel heard, and whether it's in here recorded intimate conversations with people just in their daily life, then I can't wait for it to become whatever it's going to become. And if you were here during A Road Less Doubtful days and you are now listening to me as Wild Honesty, thank you. Any feedback, amazing. Just appreciate you tuning in. And till the next one, hopefully, just stay open, try to be more unfiltered, come a little more alive, and allow yourself to be more seen.